So far, Docker repository is owned by Revd, and also Voyankil can able to contribute his changes onto this repository. Let's assume that you are on master branch and this code is working fine as expected. Now, Voyankil has a contributor access to this repository. He can continue to push his changes onto master branch. Even Revd also can able to push his changes onto the master branch. Let's assume that after changing few files as a Revd or Voyankil, I have pushed those changes onto the master branch. After pushing my latest commit, this code is not working. Let's assume that this is a Java code and this code is not working after the latest commit. So that is not a good practice to break down the running code or working code. To overcome this problem, we have already discussed about branches. So it is always best practice to create multiple branches and push your code onto the dev or test branches first. And if you make sure that the code is working, then only push it into the master or production branch. That is what advisable. At the same time, I need to make sure that nobody could able to commit onto my master branch, even though I am a owner of that repository or I am a contributor for this repository. That is where protected branches comes into the picture. Whenever we convert a branch as a protected branch, even though I'm a owner of that repository or a contributor, I cannot able to commit any changes directly. It has to go through with the review process. Somebody has to review the code, then only it should get committed. Again, it come as a pull request. In that case, what we can do, we can create multiple branches. Here I am going to create one more branch called dev. Okay, so on dev, either I am a Voyankil user or Revd user, I can able to push my changes onto dev without any issues because I'm a contributor and I'm a owner on the dev, and I'm not going to convert dev as a protected branch. Whereas if I want to commit some changes onto the master branch, of course I need to go through with the approval process. So whatever changes we are pushing onto the dev, we will test it on a test system. If it is passing, then only we will go on to the master branch or production branch, I can say. So let's convert our master branch as a protected branch. Again, let's go to settings. And here we have option called branches. And I'm going to update branch protection rules. So for that, I'm going to add a rule. Here you can name your branch. So I'm going to protect my master branch. We have multiple options to protect, that is require pull request to review before merging, which means that whenever we are committing any changes onto the master branch, it should go with the pull request and it should be reviewed. And the next one, require status checks to pass before merging, which means that we can put some conditions. These are the status checks we need to pass. So in the DevOps workflow, you can understand this one more better. Next, required sign commits, required linear history, include administratives. These all are the options. Here you can see include administrators means even though I'm a admin for this repository, even I should follow this one. So for Revd, I want to restrict, then I can include this one. So enforce all configured restrictions above for administrators as well. Next, there are few other rules we can apply it. But among this, we need to choose this option where we need to required pull request review before merging, which represents that whenever we want to push some changes onto the master branch or production branch, I can say, it has to reviewed by someone in my team, because usually whenever we are working as a team, at the time we are going with review process. And how many members has to approve this one? If I keep three members has to approve before merging that changes into the master branch. Anyway, we have only two users, so we can give only one review. Whoever create a pull request, they cannot able to review it. So maximum we can give only one because two users are working on this repository. Let it be, and I'm going to create a pull request, sorry, protected branch. Now my master branch is protected, and if I go here, we have two branches. And dev branch, either Revd or Voyankil user can able to update the code without any issues, but from the dev to master, if I want to update my code, I need to go with the review process. In the real time also, we will go with the same procedure. Whatever code is there in the dev branch, we will deploy that on a dev or test system. If it is working fine, then we can merge that code with the master branch. Here we are doing merging kind of thing, but in the CLI we will execute git merge. Here we need to do it in the GUI. I will show you in a while. Before that, let's commit some changes as a Wayankill user or else Revdy user, and then we'll see what will happen. First, I'm going to Wayankill user. So here I'm checking for the Revdy Docker. So this is the repository. It is under Revdy account, but still I can edit because I'm a collaborator for this one. Now let's edit it. And while editing, I cannot edit it on the master branch. I can edit it only on dev branch. First, let me see what will happen if I try to modify on master branch. Earlier, whenever I do commit on master branch, it wasn't asking for any approvals. This time we'll see what will happen. I'm just going to update the Docker commands file. Let me edit it. Okay, so I'm just giving a space over here. Everything will be tracked with the git. So commit changes. You can see here while committing, it is creating a branch Wayankill patch 1, and we are trying to merge with the master. Earlier it was not doing this one. It was directly able to commit my changes. Now it is asking me to create a pull request. Okay, so I don't want to create a pull request, so I'm backing out with my changes. I'm not updating. Okay, anyway, it has created a new branch, but we haven't created a pull request. Okay, anyway, now what we are going to do, I'm selecting dev. In the dev, I'm trying to do some changes. Edit, and I'm just giving an enter and commit changes. Okay, now you can see here I can directly commit on the dev branch because I'm a collaborator for this one, and dev branch is not a protected branch. That is the reason I can directly able to push it. Now I would like to commit the changes whatever are there in the dev branch to master branch. Then I can do a pull request. Compare and create a pull request. Let me do this one. Okay, so we are creating a pull request from dev to master. I would like to create it and create a pull request. All right, I have opened a pull request, and if you see here, you can see review required, which means that we have given one approval is required, right? So I have done these commits as a Wayankill user. Revdy can able to approve my request. Why? Because we both only working on this repository. So now I can go back to Revdy account, and if I refresh it, I can see the pull request. And this is the pull request which we have created as a Revdy, and we need to approve it. You can see here review request. Okay, add your review. You can see here comment, approve, and request changes. So comment nothing but if there is any suggestions if you would like to give, you can add that one. Approve means there is no suggestions, everything is looks good, I can approve it. Request changes means you identified that some changes you can do still to improve this code, that you can tell to developer. But here I assume that this is fine and I would like to approve it. So submit for review. And you can see here it has been approved. Even if I go here, this has been approved by the Revdy. Now I can merge my pull request. So my changes are fine. I'm merging this one. Merging also I can do. Why? Because I'm a collaborator over here. Now if I see that extra change has been get updated in the master branch itself. Okay, now Wayankill merges pull request to from so and so to master, and master we have seen 39 seconds ago one commit was done on the master branch. Okay, this is how we can protect our branch and make sure that only working code get committed onto the protected branches. Now we'll try it as a Revdy user. So I'm adding a file over here. Just for demonstration, I'm doing all this stuff from here. Usually we need to clone it onto our local system, and we should do. But GUI will give the better understanding. Docker test file. Okay, just I'm committing one. This is this is test file, and let me commit it. See here, I cannot able to commit onto the master. You can clearly see the message. Even as a Wayankill user also same message we are getting. You cannot commit master because it is a protected branch. So we need to create a new one. Or else what we can do, instead of committing these changes onto the master branch, let's leave this one. I'm going to shift onto the dev branch. In dev branch, I can do changes directly. So let's add a file, and you can see here commit directly onto the dev branch because it is not protected and I'm the owner. Okay, if you wish to create a new branch, you can still create a new branch over here, but let me commit it directly onto the dev branch. Now dev branch, we have committed our changes. Here you could see 39. Now I would like to push it into the master branch. If I go to the master, here also we have 39 because each merge create it as a additional commit. So here also 39, even though we don't have latest one. Now I would like to merge these changes, okay, from the dev branch to master branch. So for that, I can create a pull request even though it is my own account. This time Voyankil user is going to approve this request. So create a pull request, and it should be reviewed. And I'm going here, and I will go and refresh over here as a Voyankil user. And there is a one new pull request, and this time it is created as a Docker test file, and I don't want to approve this one. Why? Because it is a test file and it is not required. So I can give the request changes. This is not needed in this repo. Okay, submit for review. Okay, so this is not yet approved and I need to act on this one. So change the request. Now what I can do, I can still cannot able to do that one. So what I will do, I am going to close this pull request because I don't want to. This file is created wrongly on this repo. Okay, I'm just committing my changes. Okay, I don't want to reopen. I just closed this request. So there won't be any pull request. Okay, that pull request has been closed without commit. So this is how protected branches helps us to protect our working code from unnecessary changes. Now you might got fair knowledge about the branches as well, right? Why do we really need branches? All right, that's all for this lecture, and see you in the next lecture.